Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. I know a lot of people have been wondering about the aircraft engines. Um, People remember them kind of being under the wings, and now they're more in front of the wings. And myself included, I remember the engines being further back underneath the wing. But anyway, um, I guess we'll just call this a little bit of a history lesson. And we're about to see how this is a brand new aircraft. This is a Boeing 747. Yes, they're making one now, and we're gonna watch and see how they put these engines on like way in front of the wing. They're also gonna go through the design of the new engines because they are new engines. It is a new design. Without further ado, here we go. Watch this.
It's time to give her some power. Time for the new engines. 4 revolutionary ones. The old 747 engines consume over 12,000 litres of fuel per hour. With oil prices at an all-time high, airlines are seeking any way to minimise fuel consumption. Finding a more efficient engine is critical to the Dash 8's success. General Electric is at the forefront of jet engine design. These brand new engines are the most efficient they have ever made. Boeing challenged GE to adapt them for the new 747. But they don't come cheap. With a list price of $20 million each, these engines are the new Jumbo's single most expensive component. But they are worth every cent. Composite materials used in the fan blades and casing trim 180 kilograms from each engine. Multiply that by 4, and it equals almost 10 extra passengers. And with fewer fan blades and lower turning speeds, these are the quietest engines GE has ever made. They can push through more air with less work. And that means burning less fuel. So how do they do that? Only 10% of the air is mixed with fuel and burnt in the combustion chamber, driving a series of turbines that power the big fan at the front. And that's the fan which pushes the other 90% of the air out the back of the engine, creating thrust. Despite burning less fuel, 4 of them can propel a fully laden 747-8 at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Just one of these engines creates as much thrust as all 8 engines on a B-52. Back at the factory, it's time to hang the engines. Massive concrete blocks hang on the wings where the engines will go. Without them, the aeroplane would tip back on its tail. Each engine weighs 7 tons, and there are 4 engines to get off their trolleys and onto the wings. That's like hanging 4 bull elephants. It's a job to do slowly and carefully.
Let me put a little tension on it and test it.
If the 4 winches are slightly misaligned, it won't go in square, and they're in trouble.
45. Got your wheels where you want them?
Our team's a pretty tight unit. We work together fairly well. We all have our positions on the plane that we like.
0.
All right, start pulling your pins. We communicate well together this way. Keeps us from getting into any troubles. Harness up for safety.
For safety.
We're about 12 inches away. We're going to pull the bolts from the front fitting. There's a pin up front that lines up the forward mount. So we lube that up with anti-seize. We'll come up another 6 inches, make sure everything is clear. Then we'll come up the last 6 inches and then put all 4 bolts in. very close tolerance, within a thousandth of an inch. Come on up.
It only takes 8 bolts to hang these massive engines.
All 4 started, all grabbing.
Ready to go 50%?
Not yet. I'm still getting these down, Axel.
Okay. The torque on those bolts are 625 foot-pounds on the rear, 375 foot-pounds on the front. The fronts are designed to shear off. That's per design, and that's in case there is any problems that the engine will shear at the front, fall back, and break away from the plane without taking out wings or flaps or any of that. One.
There are 3 more engines to mount. Once again, the crew will need to burn the midnight oil to get the job done. After weeks of painstaking work, it's almost time to switch the beast on. But first, there's more painstaking work.
Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration of how these new engines are built, the new design of these new engines, and how they install them. That's pretty fascinating. Only 8 bolts. This is it's a $20 million jet engine just for one of these things, and they're held on with 8 bolts. That's fascinating. Anyway, until next time, everybody. Hope you all doing well out there. And God bless. Peace. And be well.